What up? Welcome to Cool Kid TCG. Today we have Purple Luffy versus OP01 Blue Dofy. Playing a very strong opponent today, Adrian 37. Believe he got a top 32 in a Nationals. So yeah, he's a really good player and he's really good at Dofy. This is going to be a good test of the deck. I apologize in advance. I almost didn't post this video just because of the glare on the lights. I need to be better about getting the camera angles right. I'll try to do my best to explain all the cards. I keep my hand because it has the Zoro. I'm thinking I really like that play when I can ramp to 4. I won the dice roll. I get to go first. He's playing Perona. Searches top 5. Can put it in top 5 and at any order on the bottom or the top. Key card for him. So he's setting everything up right now. I'm looking at my hand. I have three blockers if you count the Soba Mask, who's a 2K. I'm kind of liking my hand, but it's a little bit too defensive. Hoping I can draw into a Luffy Taro. We draw the Lost Searcher. Again, we're going to go with our plan, which is the ideal curve where we ramp 1. We swing 5 life. We're going to play the Zoro out and see what we get. Again, we're looking, hopefully get a Luffy Taro. We don't have one yet. We could get a 2K here. I decided to go, maybe as a mistake, I decided to go for the Songoro because I'm thinking I want to be able to set up my Luffy Taro play. I'm going to have 2 more draws before my next turn, but whether my turn for my draw for my turn and then getting 1 from life. He swings 8 of life. This is where I also maybe make a mistake. He bounces he plays the Law, which can bounce my Zoro to hand, but I take this. I could have given him 4 cards. I didn't have 2 2Ks. I would have had to give him a 2K and 2 1Ks. I didn't like that, but it allows my hand size to grow, and he's gonna putting me the next turn. This is probably a mistake. My hand's at like 9 right, or it's gonna be at 9 by the end of my turn. I still don't have the Luffy Taro, but we're gonna ramp and see if we can get it. And we do get it. It was hard to tell right there. That is the Luffy Taro. I'm pretty ecstatic about that. We swing 5 into the Law. He's going to give us counter. And then we're going to go straight into Luffy Taro Songoro. I thought about going Luffy Taro Zoro, but he can bounce the Zoro back with Law. I decided to go with something with the 5 cost that's above that. I'm feeling pretty strong at this point. I have a lot of cards in hand. And I got a better board than he does. Obviously, he can build his board super fast, put 2 Dawn on leader and play from the top, and he can Jinbei Weevil, all kinds of cool stuff like that. He asked me right now, cards in hand. I count 9. We start laughing. I'm like, okay, I'm getting pudding. Yeah, so he drops the pudding. I think ultimately I could have played around this. I should have played around this ultimately. I think it ends up working out. In this particular instance, but just a play where I should have probably played around the pudding, even though I wouldn't have liked to give a 2K and then 2 1Ks, probably should have done that anyways. It ends up working out because of the draw I get and because I've already established. It kind of takes away like his tempo a tiny bit. He didn't get to use leader effect this turn or Jinbei Weevil or anything like that. But yeah, ends up working out because of the cards I draw. I like my hand. And it kind of put him back a little bit of tempo. But again, still not the best play. Kind of drew a similar type of hand. We had 2K, Gum Giant, Zoro. I'm kind of liking this. I think I make a mistake here. He swings 7 of life. I should have taken this one and then counter out of the 1K. Instead, I counter out of the 7K and then take the 1K. So he gets an extra card. He gets a 2K out of my hand, essentially. Just a mistake on my part. I give him the Soba Mask and the Rush Sanji. So yeah, just a mistake. Should have had at least 1 more card in hand. Draw for turn. We draw a kid. I believe we got the Nico Robin blocker off of life. We're currently at 8 Dawn, but we have a cool board. Swing the Songoro. Let's get an extra card. We're recouping from the pudding. We get a Gum Giant. We're swinging into the Law, of course. At this point, I'm thinking about whether to swing, what to play. I believe I'm going to swing 5 first because I want to try to get as much cards out of his hand as possible, try to starve him with resources. He does end up giving me the 1K, and then I'm going to kill it with the Luffy Taro immediately afterwards. But that was the thought process between swinging the 5 first. He's thinking about what card to give me. So, oh no, he lets it die. Excuse me. Probably thinking that all that through, and then I swing 8 into life. But I'm going to drop 5 for the Kid blocker, and then 2 for a Nico Robin blocker after I swing the 8 into life. I'm feeling pretty confident on my board. So there's the Kid blocker, and then 2 for the. You're never going to see this Nico Robin blocker because it's glared out. It's a 2-cost, pretty baby blocker. I feel pretty confident in my board until he drops the 7 Dawn Gravity Blade, which just destroys my board. Gets rid of the Kid and the Songoro, which is coming. But again, at this point, I'm feeling pretty strong. My board's pretty built, and all he has on board is a pudding. I'm feeling, like I said, I'm feeling strong right now. But here comes the game changer. A pudding and Grav Blade on back-to-back turns. Kind of tough to get around, especially when I'm seeing my ideal curve. But yeah, there is the Grav Blade. Gets rid of the Songoro and the Kid blocker. He's got 1 Dawn standing. And I don't have any counter in hand. So I block with the Nico Robin. He does swing 5, so I have to take this hit. This doesn't feel good to take this hit, but I have to because I have no counter in hand. Just unfortunate at this point. Not liking went from feeling really good to not feeling great at all. We get to 10 Dawn. We do have the Lin in life. We can drop it. We can get rid of the pudding. We can block her up, but I'm thinking about he can easily remove things. He can perfume femur. I'm thinking about this. I decide, I believe, to swing 5 with the leader first at pudding, because I swing 8, or I swing 5 first. He gave me 2k, and then I swing 8 at pudding. The reason being is I know this deck doesn't run rush, and I also don't want to heal him. So let's play the Lin. We pitch the Zorojuro. We heal 1. Now we're in a spot where he cannot win this turn, and we established a big body, and we didn't have to heal him by putting the pudding in life. I could have been a little bit more aggressive. I think we talked about it a little bit afterwards. I maybe could have been a little bit more aggressive and not swung at the pudding or been more efficient about the pudding. But here he plays Teach. Teach is a very powerful card in the Dofi deck, which he can now stack a card on top of his life. From his hand, which lets him set up the leader effect. He swings 8, activates leader effect. He plays whatever he's stacked, which is Jinbei. Jinbei into Weevil, draw a card. He hit the Exodia combo. Just a very strong combo. He did swing 8, so I can Gum Gum Giant out of it. I give him the Gum Gum Giant plus a Law blocker, draw into a Kid blocker, and a 2k, return the 2 Dawn. So kind of like the way my hand shaped up after that. He has no more swings this turn. He plays the Jozu. He can't bounce anything. He jokes, I'll bounce you, Lin. But he's got a board set up where he can probably push for game next turn. If not, he's just got a very strong board. I'm at 9 Dawn. I'm thinking about what to do with this. I ultimately, I can't push for game because even if I wanted to, because he has 3 life. And I didn't feel comfortable doing that, especially with the cards he had in hand. I believe he had 4 or 5. Going through 3 life is tough. I'm just thinking about my options, and ultimately I believe my options are to block her up, which I'm deciding. I have the Nami blocker in hand, and I also have a Nico Robin blocker and a Gum Gum Giant. I believe I swing 5 with leader into Jinbei, get a card out of hand. I swing 8 into Jinbei. Let's get as many cards out of hand as possible. That's the idea, and also clear the board in a way. But I believe my idea now, thinking, is I'm going to play the Robin blocker and the Nami blocker and still have some Dawn up for Gum Gum Giants. I hit him with life with Lin. So we play the Nami blocker. We start off our plan. We rest 4. We pitch a card and we can draw 2. And we draw into a Kid blocker. This is where the interesting decision where I instantly forego my plan of playing the Nico Robin blocker and keeping Dawn up for Gum Gum Giant. And we play the Kid blocker. The reason I do this is because I know that can't get bounced by a Law. I like that, but I feel a little bit weird because I don't have a Dawn up for Gum Gum Giant. I think maybe I got a little bit overzealous by seeing that Kid blocker and I got excited. I think it ends up working out. I think it's probably the better play, all things considered, because I'm going to end up swinging the Kid next turn. I give him the blocker of the Nami immediately. just in case he had any inklings of trying to bounce it with Law. He plays Boa, which he can arrange the top 3 cards and give a rest to Dawn, which he does so. And he's got essentially, he activates leader effect, puts 1 on, plays out the Crocodile. I joke if he wants to use Crocodile's effect, the only eligible target is his Teach. He jokes he's going to return it. But yeah, 7 out life. This is an interesting scenario because he has 2 live swings. I have to respect the Teach swing, especially if it could give itself 2 rested Dawn. I give him the 2K, 1K. I have a Gum Gum Giant and a 1K in hand. I think this is a very interesting scenario because I could easily take the Weevil hit, a big Weevil hit or something along those lines. Thinking I'm strong because of the Kid blocker, and he could Perfume Fumer, rested Dawn to Teach, and swing big with Teach. So I have to. There's a lot of interesting, weird scenarios here. I think he's thinking it out thinking it out too. But it's just like, yeah, I have to respect the Teach swing. I have to respect Perfume Fumer, and I have a Kid blocker, 2 in hand, a 1K, and a Gum Gum Giant. Ultimately, I can protect 1 big swing. And still have the blocker. He's thinking things through. What he eventually decides to do is he swings 6 with the Weevil. Now, this is an interesting scenario. I give him the blocker and a 1K. This does put me in a weak spot where he could have dawned up on the Teach and killed something on my board. Maybe this wasn't the right move. Maybe I should have taken this and then just Gum Gum Gianted out of his potential big Teach swing. But I give him the blocker plus a 1K. He just swings that big with the Teach. I take the hit. Ultimately, okay scenario, but he didn't. I think it worked out okay for me, but just a bunch of weird interactions that could have happened. Now he has a blocker and 2 life. I need to hit him 3 times, and I have 4 swings. I'm thinking about how I'm going to do this. I wish I had an Usohachi in hand, which I could rest the Boa, or I wish I had a Sanji in hand that I could rest the Boa. One of those 2 would be great. I don't have that, however. I'm going to have to brute force this. I do have big bodies, though. I'm hoping that this works out. I decide to swing first with Kid in case he has a Grav Blade in life. So I swing a big 9 at life. Yeah, just a big number. And plus I'm getting rid of the 5K, in case there's a Grav Blade, the 5 cost. I have the 9 cost swing with Lin here and an 8 cost with Luffy, plus 7 standing Dawn. He's doing the math. He decides to block with Boa. This gives me a little bit of false confidence. Let's wait for him to block with the Boa. Yeah, it would have been nice to have the Usohachi, but he blocks with the Boa. Now, this makes me think a 9K swing is something that's not ideal for him to counter out of. So I do a low Dawn investment. I've just swing the 9K again with Lin. Again, he just blocked with it, so I thought it was a little awkward for him. I got a little false confidence, I think, thinking things were going through. He takes. I have 7 Dawn. How I'm going to split it amongst my Luffy, Taro, and leader. I can swing, I believe, 9-11. Is that what it is? If I put 5 on Luffy, I'm at 10. And yeah, I can swing 9-11. And I have to do that for game because at this point I've done enough. So here comes the maybe it's 8. Maybe it's 8-10 or 8-11. No, it's 9. I swing 9. Sorry, the glare. Yeah, 9-11. He counters out of this. At this point, I've lost the game. I have a Gum Gum Giant in hand, so I keep the Dawn up just in case I draw into all the Gum Gum Giants. Have a random opportunity to win the game. But I swing 8 into the Jozu. He takes. Again, the Hail Mary is I have 1 Gum Gum Giant. If I can draw into 2 more, I might live another turn. But that's at this point. Once he countered out, I knew I lost. So yeah, that's how we do it. I'm going to end up losing this game. He swings 7 at life. I have to give him the Gum Gum Giant here. We return 2. And unfortunately, we do not draw into another Gum Gum Giant, but we do draw into the Usohachi that we wanted. We do have 2 2Ks in life. I have to give him the 2 2Ks for this next 7K swing, and here comes the big one. Yeah, good game. Ultimately, I made some mistakes. The pudding, and the pudding was one that I think I have to think about a decent amount, because it did set me back, but it kind of set him back a little bit. I have to play around the pudding. That's the thing. I did not play around the pudding, and it did ruin my hand. But I did feel good that I had the Luffy Taro Songoro out while he was establishing a pudding. But yeah, ultimately I made a few micro decisions. If I grab a 2K here instead of grabbing the Songoro, maybe I counter out of that. Maybe I don't get puddinged. Maybe if I play the blocker slightly different. But yeah, a good game. This is a tough matchup. Feel good about the deck that I was able to hang in with this. Again, this is a good player, Adrian37. Had a lot of fun. Feel free to comment in the comments, any tips, anything I could have done differently. Yeah, thank you.